morning and welcome to the daily draw today. We've got two gorgeous picks for you today for some drawing. 3 cats sitting on a wall, which is an old design that I've pulled out from the archive for the juniors, and then a really quite complex but challenging picture of Greyfriars Bobby, which is a wonderful story from Edinburgh. So you have a go at one or both of them, but make sure you take a look at both of them today. And we've only got 2 weeks left till the end of term now, 2 weeks left of homeschooling. So we really hope you love the daily draws. Let's get drawing. So we've got our warm-up paper today, and what I want to think about today is how you draw bricks on a wall. So nice line, straight line, keeping the hand nice and loose. And what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. See, I'm not measuring, I'm not using a ruler. I want it to look nice and loose. Once I've drawn 3 bricks, all I do with the next ones is I'm going to go in between like that. And that's how simple it is. And we're going to do this in our drawing today. But what we don't need is hard lines. What we don't need is a ruler and measured exact lines. We're going for lovely, sketchy bricks. Right, let's start drawing. So we're going to start our cats on a wall. This is the drawing we're going to do here. And we're going to start it with a nice line to show us where our wall's going. So here we go. We've got, I'm going to go, if I think about where halfway up is, and then I'm going to go slightly down because I want plenty of room to put my bricks in. And I'm just going to take, look how loosely I'm holding my pencil. I'm just going to take a nice line across like that. And then I'm going to start with my 3 cats, and I'm going to work out where I want them. So here's my first one. There's my second one, a little bit of a gap. He's in the middle. And then there's my third. And I want each of them to look slightly different. So you don't have to, you can make them all the same, but I quite like the idea of having different cats. My friend Georgina, she's got cats and they're all very different. So I've got one cat here. So I've got to have that shape, and let's do that again here, but I'm going to make this one a bit bigger. And then this one, I'm going to do it with these 2. So we've got the bottom coming slightly down under the wall. I'll do the same here. So there's our 3 starter shapes there. And what we're going to do from that then is 2 lines on each side like that. So we're building these cats, but we've not finished here. We still need their heads. And I want that oval shape on top for each of the heads. And these are our first shapes. So pause at that point and get those first shapes down. So we're going to take the tail down now, like this. And each of the tails can be different if you like. That one's going to curl to there. I'm going to make this one like that. This one there. So we've got our 3 tails. Now let's put our bricks in. So just like I showed you on the warm-up, we're going to come out. If you start with your top row, you just leave, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the one on the guide sheet that you'll pause at. I'm not doing it like that. I'm just going to start, leave a gap, and draw my bricks in like that. And then the next set, I'm going to do it so that they come and they go in between. And the same here. And there, I'll just go back in and put 2 half ones. And I'm going to do the same here. So I'll go with those. And that's my bricks. So if you pause, pop in your tails and pop in your bricks. So now we need to pop in our ears. So I'm going to give them each 2 little cat ears up here. And then don't forget your whiskers. And then go back in, and you just need to rub those 2 lines out. And if you've got a line for the top of the wall, you can rub that out. 2, and that is your 3 cats on walls. So let's go and do some painting now. So we're going to do a nice, with the painting, I'm going to use my palette of paints here, and we're going to do some watercolour washes. So we're going to do a nice evening sky where we let these 2 washes wash into each other, and then a simple flat wash over the brick wall. So let's start with mixing our 3 washes. So I'm taking just my water onto my paint lid, and these paints, you can get these paints from our online shop at the Little Art School. And it's handy because the palette, the lid works as your palette there. And we're going to make sure you've got plenty of wash. It's really annoying when you run out. I'm going to do the top one as a yellow wash here to make this lovely evening sky. And in the middle one, I'm going to put yellow to start with, but then I'm going to go in with this orangey red here. I want a nice orange one. Let's test that. Yes, I think that's quite nice. I might go for even a bit more. Right, and then the last one, which is going to be the wall, that is going to be a brown wash. So we'll just go in with our brown here. We'll create that there. You always just need to test the strength, test to make sure it's strong enough there. Each of those is absolutely fine. Right, for this beginning bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some clean water, and I'm going to go just a tiny bit above my wall. Not much, but above my wall. This is, if you've got plenty of time to let them dry between washes, you don't need to worry about this. But I don't, so I want to stop my paint from my sky dripping into my wall. So I've got that. Now then I'm going to cover the whole of this top half with water. Now the reason this is working is because this is watercolour paper, so it really needs to be watercolour paper to do this effect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with yellow at the bottom. I might actually put a bit more paint in there. There we go. So now it won't go down below its invisible line. There. I'm going to take it about halfway up there. Maybe a bit higher even. Up to there. Clean my brush. I go into my orange. Let's go more orange. Go into my orange there. And then this is the magic bit, because what I want is for these 2 colours to just flow into each other. So if I go like that, I take my board and I just slightly lower it, move it back and forward so the wash starts to move into each other. Perfect. Now I'm going to leave that to dry. I'm going to make sure that I've got a little gap. Did my gap remain? Then I'm going to take my brush and my brown wash, and I'm going to do my wall here at the bottom, and I'm going to go over everything. That's why we're going to do our cats black. Makes it really easy for us, so we don't have to paint around the cats there like that. Because the cats we can paint over as soon as this paint is dry. So this is the bit where I need to be careful. Because if those 2 paints touch each other, what will happen is I'll get brown into the sky, and I don't want that. So we'll just leave that tiny little line between. I'm going to let that dry and then come back. Okay, so I've got, I'm going to use a couple of pencils here. Now I'm going to use watercolour, but actually you could use anything. And what I'm going to do is just go around. I'll go over the top of this wall, like that. So that little line that we left, see, we're just filling in with that pencil mark there. And then I'm going to go around, very quickly go around each of my bricks. Now, if you have lots of time and you're doing this in pencils or something, you could do your bricks as a rainbow bricks. You could have an amazing wall. You could have your cats all different colours if you like. This is just like a basic design, but you could go off and do absolutely anything with it, or do the basic one and then think, right, now I'm going to do a rainbow wall with rainbow cats. So that's my bricks. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my black paint like this. Just a small wash here. Not too much water at all. And the key is loads of paint. I want this very, very dark. Okay, it must be dry, otherwise it won't work. And I'm going to go and I'm going to paint each of my cats black. 3 black cats on a wall. Surely that would be lucky if you saw that. So I'm going to go around the outside first, just because it means I've got it nice and neat. And then inside each one. I'm going to do the tails at the end, because I don't want to end up running my hand through it, because it can be a bit clumsy sometimes when I'm painting. Elizabeth's laughing because I'm actually quite clumsy in pretty much everything. So here's my big black cat in the middle, with his bottom over the edge of the wall. I feel like this is my dainty black cat at the end here. So if that wasn't dry, if the wash behind it wasn't dry, what would happen at this point is that it would all run into each other. It would make a right old mess. So make sure you just have a bit of patience and make sure that that wash is dry. And now I'm going to put in the tails. And that one. And the last one. And I'm going to finish my cats off with whiskers. And you can do those with your brush if you want, or you could pop them in with pencil or even with a bit of pen. That is my 3 cats on a wall. Hope you really enjoyed that. And it's really nice to start the week with some animals. Tomorrow we've got a gorgeous flower, so we will see you then for the daily draw.